a little bit about making sure that your whole entire process, your installs, because there's a lot that you just had to install. We want to make sure that it's all installed correctly. If once you have it installed, you should have access to ADB, and you see that just by typing in ADB. Once again, if you're not a command line person, it's totally fine. This is just a way to show you quickly that you're doing things correctly. And so basically what just happened was ADB, which is the Android SDK command line tool, is basically telling us that it's been installed correctly, and here goes what you can do with it. And all we really want to do is just make sure that you have your USB, because you should have a USB connected to your device, Mac or Windows, and we're just going to make sure that it can recognize the Tango. To do that, all you have to do is type in ADB devices. Okay, and so when we typed in ADB device, now it's not saying the word Tango, but seeing as this is the only thing connected, I know it's actually the Tango itself. And you might have to pull it out, and you know what? Something I didn't mention that is actually very important if you're on Windows. Sorry about that. Is if you come down here to extras, if it's not working, right? There's a few ways you can troubleshoot this. First thing we want to do is come down to extras, and you want to make sure that you have the Google USB driver. Extremely important. That needs to be installed. If it's not installed, Windows may not correctly recognize your device, and this won't work. And so this might be a news to you, and you go back, you install it, and then you try to do this. You run this code and you're not getting anything. It's not saying that there's a device actually listed. So how do you actually go about debugging it? Well, the way you can debug it is to actually do, first you do this ADB devices, nothing shows up. Then the next command you want to do then is, because there's actually a server behind the scenes that's actually being ran. So you can actually kill the server. I know command line code, they're really vicious. And we want to kill the server, and so you'll get this message that server not running. The server is gone now. If we do ADB devices, it'll actually kickstart it again. And if we want, we can kill the server, and we can actually start the server if we want to do it manually. So you see, we got the same exact message that we got when we used ADB device. So if you ever do run into any issues, it just might be just a simple restarting, killing the old server and just restarting it again, and that typically fixes if there's anything funny going on. And 100%, you need to have this Google USB driver. Make sure that you go back and you check your SDK, and that you have that Google USB driver installed.